Hey, and welcome to another video. This is going to be the first video I've filmed now for about a month. So I thought, why not make a bit of an easier video today, just to get back into the swing of things, and then hopefully I can start making content again more regularly. So I'm going to do what every photographer does on YouTube at least once, and I'm going to make a what's in my camera bag video. So yeah, the idea for this came off the back of my last photography video. I did mention a couple of times what gear I was mentioning, and I thought it'd be quite useful for you guys to see exactly what I take on certain situations. So I'm actually going to show you my full-size camera bag and what gear I take when I'm taking more like landscape stuff, and I'm going out and I've got a certain image in mind. And then I'm going to show you my more minimal like travel bag, and that's just if I'm going somewhere where I'm going to be in like a city or a town and I'm more on the street, or if I'm doing landscape but it's a bit more casual. It's just to keep the bag lightweight. So I'll show you both setups and you can get a bit of an idea then of what I'm taking and how I shoot. So starting off with my main bag, this is the Lowepro Flipside 400 AW2, and this is the first thing I want your guys' opinion on, to be honest. It's been a good bag, but when it's filled full of gear, I do notice that puts a lot of pressure on my shoulders, and if I've been wearing it all day, it does leave like small bruising. It does have the support straps for around your chest and your waist, but they don't seem to fully work no matter how much I adjust them. So I don't know whether it's the actual strap design at the top that is causing the issues, but if you've got any suggestions on that, let me know. But other than that, I've had this bag for about 3 years now, and it's amazing, to be fair. Like, the quality of it is really, really good. It's just a shame that it does feel a bit uncomfortable after long sessions. It does have your little tripod mount at the front. I'll show you some B-roll of that with the tripod installed. It's got little side pockets where you can put your water bottles and things, and then the actual bag opens from the back. So this is great, so you can put your bag down. It doesn't matter if the ground's wet or anything. So, you know, like if you put the bag down on a wet floor, muddy floor, it's the front of the bag that's getting muddy, not the part of the bag that is then going to sit on you when you pick it back up. So I really like that feature, and if I do get a new bag, I would want it to open this way, just because it's so much better. You don't have to worry about putting it on the floor, and it's just fantastic in that regards. Inside, it's got all the dividers that you would need, really, and this is how I've got it laid out at the moment. So yeah, it easily fits all three of my lenses, my camera. It's got the DJI Osmo accessories in here usually. They're not in here at the moment because I'm recording with it. It's got like mini tripods in here. It's just a great bag. Like, it's got tons of space in here. So yeah, apart from the comfort issue, like, yeah, it's a great bag. Moving on from the bag, we have the camera that I use. So I'm currently using the Fujifilm X-T5. Had this for about a year now. Absolutely love it. Like, I can't fault it in any way, and I just love its size. I love the physical dials. I love the files that come out of Fujifilms. They're amazing. This camera has the new Fujifilm 40 megapixel APS-C sensor. The files that come out of it are amazing. Autofocus has been really, really good for what I use it for. Much better than older Fujifilms. Previous to this, I had the X-T30, and the autofocus difference between that camera and this is huge. I'm not going to dive too much into specs with gear in this video. If you do want to know a bit more about a certain product, let me know in the comments and I'll do a deeper dive. But yeah, aside from the specs on this camera, I love how the manual controls are laid out on this. I know a lot of street photographers go around with aperture priority mode, but for me, I just find the manual dials just so quick to change my settings that I just shoot fully manual most of the time, even if I'm doing like quick photography. Because the camera controls are like second nature to me now, I don't need to see what I'm doing. I just know which dial's going to be doing what, and I can be looking through the viewfinder and quickly change my settings. The layout of this camera is really, really nice, and it's one of the reasons why I love shooting Fujifilm. Then it's also got articulating screen, so it comes out like this, and you can view up. It does tilt down slightly as well. And then if you're shooting portrait, it does flip out like this as well. So really, really handy if you're doing some like lower shots, or you know, it's on a tripod, it's a little bit higher and you can just flip it down and you can still see what you're shooting. But yeah, I absolutely love this camera. I've not had any issues with it. Don't see me upgrading this for a long time now. Moving on from the camera, as you can see at the moment, I've currently got the 50mm f2 lens on there. This is probably my most used lens at the moment. I absolutely love this lens. If you just look at if we take the hood off, like if you just look at the size of that camera, like for travel, that is so handy. Like it's really lightweight. It's just super easy to use if I'm going traveling. Like just cannot fault this setup. The image quality that comes out of this lens is fantastic. I did used to have the 23 f2 as well, but I ended up getting rid of that one because I found that it was, for me personally, it was a little bit too wide. So for the photography that I was doing on the prime lenses, I always found it was too wide. I always had to like be really close to the subjects to get the photography that I wanted. So I've already sold the 23 mil now, so I'm probably gonna go for the 35 f2. I know a lot of people use that quite a lot. With this being an APS-C sensor, the 35mm is equivalent to around 50mm on full frame, and this 50mm is actually equivalent to an 80mm prime on full frame. So that is quite a cropped lens, this 50mm, but I just love the shots that I get with it. It really forces me to think about my composition. I've just got some like really nice shots from this. It's really changed how I think about photography as well. So yeah, I highly recommend getting a prime lens like this. The next lens in my lineup is the 16-80mmF4. This is a recent addition for me. I picked this up because I needed something that was a bit more versatile. If I didn't know what I was shooting, I just needed something that could, you know, have a bit more of a varied focal range. So the 16-80, great focal range. It gives a lot of flexibility if I'm going somewhere where I don't really know what I'm going to be shooting. So yeah, it's a great lens. Again, image quality is great, autofocus is great. The aperture ring has got a nice tactile click to it. And yeah, again, just a great lens. Next up in my lineup is the 70-300 f4 to 5.6. Again, this is just a great lens, really, really versatile. I think this is equivalent to over 400mm on a full frame at the highest end. I don't use this often, I don't travel with this often because, as you can see, when it's fully extended, it's a huge lens and it's hefty. It's a really big, hefty lens, this, but I love using this for like a detailed shot of like a waterfall or some sort of landmark, or you know, if there's something out to sea, like some waves, a ship, anything like that. It's really, really good for that. Really good for wildlife photography as well, if you're on a budget and you can't stretch for the more higher quality glass. Not to say that the image quality from this is bad, it's really, really good image quality from what I've seen. The only downside to it really is with it being 5.6 on the longer end, it is a little bit of a slower lens. So, you know, if you want like a fast shutter speed, you've got to really bump the ISO for that. But other than that, I can't fault this lens. Like I say, I don't use it too much, but it's been a great lens. It's got built-in image stabilization. It's got a nice like lock feature on the side here as well. So, you know, you don't get any lens creep. But yeah, great lens. So moving away from the camera, next up is one of my tripods. This is one of the Manfrotto tripods. I actually don't know the model now because I bought this years ago. I'm pretty sure this is like 6-7 years old now. This is like one of the first tripods I spent a lot of money on. I think it was £150 at the time. I remember thinking to myself, like, why am I paying this much for a tripod? I think back then I was just buying, you know, the 40 to 50 pound tripods, the really basic stuff. Anyway, I got a bit of money after going freelance and I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna take the plunge, buy something decent. And yeah, I've had it, like I said, I'm sure it must be 7 years. Let me just double check. I can't actually find the order. It's been that long now, but it could even be like 2013, 2014 when I bought this. I'm not too sure. I've took this so many places. It's absolutely battered. All the paint's chipped, but it still works, and it still works really, really well. And I've just not found a tripod really that's worth spending more than what I paid for this for not really any new features. The height's pretty good on this. It's, hang on a minute, some of the legs are a bit stiff, but it is just like a latch system, and then so it's, you know, easy to set up and put down. The only issue with this really is the weight, and it's kind of why I've stopped taking it out quite as often. I used to lug this with me everywhere. Every photography trip this would come with me. It was strapped onto the back of my bag. But yeah, it's just super heavy. I can't really justify taking it out with me too much anymore, but it's been a beast. I can't get rid of it. I'm probably just going to keep it until it absolutely fails completely. I still use it for indoors and stuff, or if I'm doing video around the house or whatever. I will put the model number down below, but I'm assuming this isn't sold anymore. So what I'll try and do is I'll try and find the current version of this, and I'll put that in the link in the description. But yeah, been a beast. So next up is my more recent tripod. This is the Benro. I'm, again, not too sure on the name. I'll put it in the link in the description. And this is just a more like lightweight travel tripod. As you can see, it's a lot smaller when it's folded. This has the twist mechanism, so super easy to get the legs out and put them back down. This has been a good tripod, but all I will say is if it's a really windy day, it is a little bit unstable, especially with my camera. Because my camera's not that heavy to begin with, you know, the weight of the camera doesn't really stabilize this. On the bottom here, it does have a little hook where you can put your camera bag. So I have done that in the past, just to give it a bit more rigidity in the wind. But if I'm going out and I know I'm going to like the coast and I know it's going to be super windy, I will take my Manfrotto tripod. But other than that, this is a lot easier to carry around on my backpack. You don't really feel the weight as much. This one has an Anker Swiss mounting point. I didn't mention this about the Manfrotto tripod, but that uses a proprietary Manfrotto mount for the tripod, whereas this is just the universal Anker Swiss plate. So yeah, it's just a little bit more universal when it comes to that. I still use this quite a lot. I've started using it for mounting my Osmo to a tripod when I'm doing filming, when I'm outdoors and stuff. So yeah, great tripod. Speaking of Anker Swiss, I do have this Anker Swiss L bracket. This is just for mounting to your camera. Just mount it to the bottom there, and instead of rotating your tripod ball head, you actually just mount either side of the L bracket depending on which way you're shooting, whether it's landscape or portrait. That just gives you the little bit of extra like flexibility on your ball head. If you've got your camera on a ball head and you tilt it this way, you don't have quite as much movement, whereas like if the ball head doesn't move and you use the L bracket, you've still got full motion of the ball head. So these are great, highly recommend them. They do them for all different sorts of cameras. Some even have like built-in grips, like hand grips, to give your camera a bit more grip. But yeah, these are great. So going through some accessories now, I've just got a couple of filters. I've got a CPL filter and a neutral density filter, but they're only for the 70-300. And then I have a CPL filter for my 50mm prime. To be fair, I need a new filter system. I don't really carry filters too much anymore. I used to carry the full filter system with the you know, the sliding square filters and half graduated filters and all that. And I realized I was carrying them around a lot, but I wasn't really using them too much. And when I was using them, they were always a faff. I have seen now that you can get the magnetic filter systems that go into your filter thread, which leaves a little magnet permanently in your lens, and then all the filters then magnetically attach to your lens. They look great, so I might upgrade to them soon. But as I say, I don't tend to use filters too much. Moving on from that, I've got my filter system from my DJI Osmo Pocket 3. These are ND and CPL, so it's just both in one, which is really handy. It saves carrying around a load of different lenses. I've been using these when I've been filming other videos outdoors and it's a bit bright out there. The only issue with them really is because they're so thin. Let me just grab one out of here. Yeah, because they're so thin, they're quite hard to get off the front of the camera once they're on there, but other than that, they're really, really handy. Highly recommended if you're doing a lot of shooting outdoors. Next up, I've just got this tripod that was off Amazon. This is great for the Osmo, but I think previously I was using it for maybe my phone or something, but each of the legs is bendable. So, you know, if you're out somewhere and you want to do a quick piece to camera, or you want to do a quick time lapse or whatever, you can attach this to like a fence or a lamppost, and you know, you can just bend it round, tie it around itself, and yeah, it becomes super like stable then if you're attaching it to things. And then obviously you can just use it as a normal tripod as well, but the reason I have it is so I can bend it around things, and yeah, just mount my Osmo just in certain places where I wouldn't be able to mount it normally. And then next up I have I think this is the Insta360 monkey tail, very similar to what the tripod I was just showing does, but yeah, you can just wrap it around things, and I've used this for doing shots in the van, like mounting it to my roof bars in the past and things like that. But yeah, this is really, really handy if you want to mount your camera in a tricky situation. It's really, really versatile. You can really, really bend it and twist it and stuff. So yeah, just another great addition if you've got like an Osmo or a small camera that you'd film in from. Next up is my rocket blower, but I have lost the attachment for the end currently, so I don't know where that's gone. But this is so you can, like, you know, if you've got a bit of dust on your sensor or inside your lens, you can just give it a quick blast and gets rid of the dust. And then finally, I've just got this bag that sits in there, just a little accessories bag. So I've got another little tripod that does extend, so comes in handy again for like Osmo or action cameras or whatever. In here, I have a little battery bank. I think this is 10,000 milliamp, and it does PD fast charging. So yeah, just really handy if I need to charge like my Osmo or my Fujifilm X-F's USB-C charging as well. So really handy for if I'm on the go. Next up I have a Samsung T7 SSD, and then the last thing is I have this micro SD card reader, and this is just in case I want to get some footage or photos off either one of my cameras, and I can access it on my phone really quickly. And then other than that, I just have some spare SD cards in there. Every now and then, if it's really bad weather, I'll carry around this waterproof rain jacket for my Fujifilm so it doesn't get too wet. So the only other thing that I've got that I can't show you right now is my Osmo Pocket 3. That's what I'm filming on right now. And it's basically what I film all my videos on. Every video that's on my channel up to now is all filmed on the Osmo Pocket 3. And then I just carry the case with a couple of filters in it, extra battery, the little tripod that it comes with. So yeah, that's everything that is in this bag. Like I say, I don't really carry this around with me too much anymore, because as you can see, it's just a lot of gear. When this bag is really full, it's super heavy. You know, if I go out, I'm hardly using all this in one day. It's rare that I need all this stuff. So let me clear all of this out of the way and I'll show you what I would take in my more minimalistic bag. So one thing I forgot to mention just before I put my bag away, this is the water bottle that I take with me. This is the Chili's Series 2. I think it's the 500ml version. I do have one of the 1 litre versions as well, but they're too big to fit in my side pocket. This fits into the side pocket of my bag really, really easily. So yeah, great addition to a walking or hiking kit, you know, just in case you need any water for the day. Super handy to have in your side pocket. So this is my minimalistic camera bag. This is what I take with me probably 90% of the time now. It's the Vanguard VEO GO 21M, and it's just so much easier to carry around, especially if I'm going into a city or a town and I don't want to be lugging all that gear around with me. I know I'm only going to be shooting handheld. I know I'm only going to use like 1 to 2 lenses maximum. It's also really handy if it's a really hot day and you don't really fancy lugging all that gear around. This is just super lightweight, super easy to travel with. It has a little Velcro pocket on the side there, just for putting some little extra bits in there, like any little tripods and stuff. Inside it's got a little divider where you can have your camera and then some other little bits on this side. It does have a rain cover as well, which is really, really handy. So yeah, basically this is how it looks. I'll have my camera in there. Super easy to pull out if I need to. In this side where usually the Pocket 3 sits and its accessories and stuff, and that's basically all I will take with it. I'll take this, my camera with either the prime lens on or the 16-80, and then if I need to, I will take both of those lenses if I feel like it's necessary. It will fit both lenses in there really, really easily. and I can still fit the Osmo Pocket and its accessories in there too. But yeah, that's basically it really. All I might take with this setup is I might carry the little Benro tripod, just in case I'm doing some filming, because otherwise I've not really got a way to mount the Osmo. Like I say, I will put a little tripod in there, but the bendable tripod and the monkey tail I can't really fit in there, so sometimes I will take the Benro tripod in one of my hands. I might look into getting a like shoulder strap for my tripod as well, just so my hands can always be free. But with my camera, it's super rare that I shoot on tripod these days. It's mainly just for the Osmo. But yeah, that's basically it. That's all the gear I have, that's all the gear I carry around with me. Like I said, this is the kit that I take with me 90% of the time, and it's just so much easier to get around with. But yeah, if you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe. Leave comments down below if you want to know about any more other gear. I'll answer any questions that you might have. I will try and leave links to all the products that I mentioned in this video, but if I do miss any, just let me know. There probably will be affiliate links, just to let you know. So you know, if you do want to buy anything, use my affiliate link. Helps the channel out and lets me keep doing stuff like this. Going forward, I'm hoping to get some work done on the van this week. The carpet has turned up now for the walls on the side of the van, so I'm hoping to get that done hopefully this week, because I do have a week off work. So yeah, I'm hoping to get that filmed, and tomorrow I'm hoping to go out and do some photography somewhere. I'm not too sure where yet, but like I said, I've got another 3 days, so that's what the channel's going to look like going forward over the next couple of weeks. I am hoping to get more on top of getting consistent content out. It's just a bit of a struggle trying to balance like work and video editing, video filming and things. So yeah, bear with me while I try and get on top of that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll catch you in the next one.